listening to the Intestinal Fortitude Podcast Network.
The Wrestling Show.
We're back with another The Wrestling Show. I got my crew together. I got my girl Ro. Hi, Ro.
Yo, we're taking over this freaking podcast.
Yes, we is. It seems like people don't want to come on, but they'll be alright. I got the master of the Tubi, the Sharks, and everything else. Don.
What's up, everybody? It's Donnie Wrestling back again. How you been?
I'm doing just fine. I cannot complain whatsoever.
You gotta say it like you're JR. Johnny Wrestling.
Johnny Wrestling.
Johnny Wrestling.
We got to be Johnny Wrestling. And then I got my boy Brandon. What's up, Brandon?
Not much, man. Unlike some people, we don't go on strike.
Well, they want their money, and I don't blame them. I go on fucking strike too. Shit. So
I don't blame some of them, but some of the other ones are just being greedy.
Yeah, that could be true. But yeah, this week we had last week we had WWE going all the way down to Puerto Rico, going for the Backlash, and still didn't have their own World Heavyweight Champion on the show. But I'm gonna leave that one alone. But it was just, to me, it was an okay show. To me, it was just a glorified house show for the people in Puerto Rico, because nobody's titles was going to change. So we had the first match. We had Bianca Belair versus Io Sky. And I only seen like the last 10 minutes of the show, that match. It looked like it was decent for what it was. It seemed like the fans were more into Io Sky than it was Bianca Belair. I have a kind of a theory about that. I don't know how true it is, but I know down in Puerto Rico, they have a problem with dark-skinned people. It's kind of a cultural thing down there. So all the black people basically got booed on the show. So that was kind of strange to see. So
I was going to say,
it was a decent match.
I was going to say, I heard a theory that the reaction was based more on the fact that Io actually did a lot of indie work in Mexico before she joined WWE.
But how come they booed Omos and they booed Bobby too?
I don't know. I mean, I was specifically referring to the Io Bianca thing because I remember Io worked a lot in Mexico before she joined in, so maybe it was just residuals from that. I mean, the Omos and Lashley stuff, that would be new to me. I mean, your theory could work on that, but I'm just saying from the Io reaction, and I remember reading that a lot of it was because she had fans from her stint in Mexico before she joined. So,
okay.
I mean, if you've got theories on, Lashley and Omos, that could tie into it. But I'm just saying, the ones I heard about it were rumors about it from Io, not from anybody else.
Okay.
Everyone boos Omos. What are we talking about?
Yeah, that's
true too.
That's true too. But yeah, it was just kind of strange that all of them got booed all at the same time, basically at the same show. No, even if they was heel all faces, it was just kind of strange. But yeah, we know Bianca was gonna win, so that ain't nothing new. I still like her as a champ. She just need a better storyline. They don't give her no type of real storyline for her to really go up against anybody.
No.
That's my idea. That's my thoughts on it. So, bro, how do you feel about the match since you've seen it from beginning to end?
If you only saw the last 10 minutes of it, you didn't miss nothing. It was it definitely went longer than it should have. It was kind of So the theme of the night for me was very boring. Like the whole night in general to me was boring. Again, we knew none of the belts were gonna change. I was almost to the point where I just sat there and just kind of watched and was like, okay, yeah, whatever. When's this match gonna end? And then it kept going and it kept going, and I was like, this match is going way too long. Literally went 18 minutes. Could have been cut down to 10 minutes if it needed to be. That it just went way too long, and it was full of nothing, honestly.
Oh, okay. Wow. So I wasn't missing much. Well,
You
what
know,
about
you did not miss much at all.
Brandon, how did you feel about the match?
That part of it was good, but it's like Bianca just needs to learn to sell better because like, oh, my arm hurts. Oh, I'm okay. And I get that's the Cena thing that they pulled with Cena, but Cena like learned over time to sell better. But I'm sitting there like, does her arm hurt? Does it not hurt? What's going on here? It's like, so I thought Io should have actually gotten the title. I wouldn't have minded, so.
Oh, wow. Don, how you feel about it?
Yeah, pretty much like them. It was an okay match, livened up by and just an absolutely amazing crowd. I mean, I love the atmosphere of it, but yeah, as a match, I'm kind of feeling what Royal said. It did go a bit too long. I mean, 12 to 15 would probably have been ideal. I'm not sure about the Bailey run, and I don't get why they would do that. That part made no sense. I mean, why
So
would
everyone can watch Bailey walk out with those pants that were freaking showing half her ass because everyone loves Bailey's ass. That's probably why.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, if you're going to do a run-in like that, why not have her come out at the very beginning and then just have her be a distraction throughout the match?
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just backwards.
Yeah, that part just makes that part whole just didn't really work well for me. But as a whole, the match isn't bad. I probably like it a little bit more than the Asuka match at Mania, but I don't know. I'm getting sick and tired of Bianca's reign. I do agree. I think she needs a change of character. I think she needs something more than just, ooh, I'm a strong black woman. Like that's basically just her character right now, and I need more than that.
Yeah, I don't blame you on that. It seemed to me, it still feel like once they put the belt on the black champions, they don't know what to do with their characters after the fact, and it gets irritating. I know, exactly like they did with Kofi Kingston. Once they put the belt on him, they didn't know what to do with him at all. So they need to do better. They really, really need to do better with that.
I mean,
now she's the longest reigning women's champion, and that's like their big thing now is they're hyping her up as that. It's like, okay, now she's longest. Let her lose the belt, give it to someone else. Let's make this interesting.
Doesn't she still have like 2 months to go for Trish's reign?
They mentioned on Raw, literally.
No,
Monday.
I know, yeah, this is like the modern era. I think she. Yeah. I think they still have like a month or two to, or maybe more for Trish's big reign. Because I know Trish held it. Because I know when Trish. Because I think that was the reign that Trish lost it at Mania 22. I think.
Oh yeah, and now they brought Trish back. Watch, they're gonna have her lose to Trish.
I don't think Trish is gonna last till SummerSlam.
She's not. Oh my gosh, her promo skills on Monday was. I don't know who's worse, Trish or Ronda.
She didn't get that bad off now.
Oh, it was bad. It was bad on Monday.
Wow.
Yeah, she was struggling. She thinks I know she wants to be a heel, but I don't think she has the chops for it anymore.
Nope, anymore. She never really did in the first place.
Yeah, I said it like in our chat the other night. I said that it's just like when it was Shawn Michaels versus Hogan at SummerSlam. They didn't want to boo Shawn Michaels. They didn't want to boo Trish Stratus. She's earned their respect, so it's like it makes no sense. She took out Lita. It's like, why is it Lita come back to challenge her then?
Yeah.
And I did notice that Bailey's. Did you notice her ponytail's back? So it makes you wonder if they're setting up for the hugger return.
Yeah. Well, and that's her saying is she's going to turn, so that could be because her ponytail was back.
Oh, hopefully they do it right this time with her because they screw her over when she was a hugger when she came up to the main roster. That Alexa Bliss match when she wouldn't hit her with the cane, that screwed her whole entire career up as a babyface.
Yep.
Well, I think another thing too, if we're looking too much into her whole ponytail thing, it's because she also had shaved in her head sky in the back of her head, and it was painted yellow or something. So she could have done the ponytail because of that too. But
okay.
Yep, I thought she made it a little too obvious though when she was holding Bianca's ponytail down. Like, she's gonna get caught, and I'm like, why? You're smarter than that, Bailey. You've been around how long? It's like, and now you're gonna get caught for doing that. I'm like, she did on purpose.
mm-hmm. All of
Yeah.
our phones are going off. I'm like, oops, forgot to silence mine. Oh well.
Well, we going to the next match. Seth freaking Rollins. You have to say the whole name. Seth freaking Rollins.
Freaking Rollins. Can't
versus,
just say Seth Rollins.
Right. Versus
no more.
Omos. And that was a waste of time match. Because Omos is supposed to be super big, super huge, one of the strongest guys on the roster, and he always damn losing. What's the damn point? How you gonna make him be a big monster if he always losing on the main event shows? They have him winning the Bobo matches on regular TV, but when it comes to the main event, he can't do jack and shit. So basically, Seth just basically carried him through this whole match to make him look good, and we knew Seth was gonna win. It took about 15 damn curb stomps for him to win, but he did. So
and off the top rope, even that.
I was gonna say, honestly, I almost thought they were gonna change that and give Omos the win, because I thought they would use this to lead into the challenge at Night of Champions in Saudi. Have a lame duck Omos challenge just to, say, okay, well, here's the reign for Roman to, get 1,000 days. He's gonna face Omos. Like, that's a no-brainer challenge. I figured they would do Omos here and have him win and use the momentum from that to challenge Roman at Saudi, and then you give Rollins the Consolation World Heavyweight Championship. I thought they would go that route. That was my prediction before, so that was the one I missed.
I thought he was going to win too, but I guess they just want Seth. And I don't even want to see Seth as the champion, for real, to be honest with you. Because as soon as they put the belt on him, they don't know what to do with his ass even once he gets the belt.
They're going to give it to him, because it's not going to make sense that they're going to give it to a SmackDown wrestler and have the SmackDown wrestler move over to Raw when we just did the damn draft, which means nothing at this point because they're still fucking screwing everyone around and putting everyone on other opposite shows.
Yeah, the draft was a waste of time.
Why is SmackDown involved in this? Like, why the hell are they involved?
That's the point. That's my thought. I thought about that when I saw the brackets, and on Monday I was looking at the brackets, and I was like, wait, why the fuck are 6 of these wrestlers SmackDown wrestlers when this belt stays on Raw? I literally was like, what is the point of that? Which my theory is that's their way of, Seth is going to get it because Seth is on the finals. Now we're going to have whoever on the finals for the SmackDown. The belt stays on Raw, so that right there is, okay, Seth is winning this type fucking tell. Because they've been doing stupid stuff lately where they're like, okay, we're going to put this match together, but then this is the outside storyline, so it pretty much tells you who's going to win. Like, Triple H is, I don't know what's up with him in his booking right now.
That's not Triple H's
no,
booking,
some of
that's
Vince.
Vince.
Oh,
that's
true.
Vince.
True, because Vince is,
Vince
right.
is back. I'm thinking Vince is on Raw and Paul has SmackDown.
Yep, that's the story that they say. But
that's what I'm thinking.
Surprised if he just running off everything and like he been fucking doing. So hey, but Brandon, how you feel about this raggedy ass match?
I thought this was probably almost his best match, probably because Seth led him to a good match. So it's like you used to say, Seth could have a good match with the broom and just make it work and stuff. So I thought it was good. I love the super curb stomp was awesome.
He almost had a match with the broom.
Yeah. And then it reminded me of when they said, "Oh, somebody barely was kicked out after the first curb stop," like, yeah, his name's The Fiend. Look what happened there.
Right. Mm-hmm. Yeah, we still ain't seen yet. So.
Because of an undisclosed sickness,
Right.
because he's sick, whatever.
Yeah, creative inabilities.
Right.
Apparently, they've assigned a new person to his creative plans.
Yeah. I believe that when I see it too.
True.
So how you felt about it, Ro?
I used that as oh crap, I need to get my son ready for bed, my baby ready for bed, and my oldest, cause I have two boys, 12 and 5. My 12-year-old loves Seth Rollins, and he was like, I said, okay, it's your match, watch Seth Rollins, and the younger one, I was like, oh yeah, we gotta get you into the bath, we gotta get you dressed, and so I literally used that match as that. I didn't even really watch it, and like my husband's like, oh, he went for the curb stop and it didn't work, and oh look, it's the top of the rope curb stop, now it's working, and I'm like, I honestly 100% didn't pay attention to that match. It's just the most random, like, okay, Seth versus Omos, and Seth was even like, okay, like it seemed like he didn't know it was happening. It was just they needed a match because they didn't have enough matches, and they probably went, let's grab this guy, let's grab this guy, and see what works.
Yeah. Shame and disgrace. Shame and disgrace. Then we had the triple threat match: Austin Theory, Bobby Lashley, and Bronson Reed. The entrances lasted longer than the damn match. So we all knew Austin Theory was going to win this joint. Bobby Lashley keep on losing the Bobo way. I don't understand that mess either. It was just dead. I don't like Austin Theory. I just think he's just a basic wrestler. He doesn't have nothing to him other than him being from Atlanta, and that's it. That's how I feel about him. So that's my thoughts on that match. So, Donnie, how did you feel about this?
Yeah, this was the weak spot in the night for me. I'm not behind Theory at all. I'm like you. I don't like the way he's winning. He's basically just pulling out fluke wins. Like he's not even really involved in the match that much. I mean, I thought most of it was actually, most of it is, him teaming up with Bronson against Lashley, or, just waiting on the outskirts and letting Bronson and Lashley fight. And then, he comes in.
You still there, Donnie?
I think we lost Donnie.
Majority of his reigns.
Okay.
Yeah, why is he holding the belt at this point? I mean, if you're not behind him, take it off of him.
That's honestly how he retained at Elimination Chamber.
Yep.
No, we'll go back to Elimination Chamber. He literally sat and everyone wrestled. He hung out on the end, and then all of a sudden it's now, the final, and here he comes. Now he wins. It's literally how he won at Elimination Chamber.
Right?
Yeah. Basic as shit. Brandon.
Yeah, this was the Bronson Reed show out of all of them. Bronson Reed impressed me the most. He was kicking some ass. He was doing Vader salts and like all sorts of stuff. It's like, holy shit, that guy's going crazy. Yeah.
That Vader bomb to the outside. Oh, that thing was a thing of beauty.
He did a really good job. He's definitely gonna be a champion pretty sure. If he doesn't beat Theory, he might beat Gunther. I don't know, because Gunther's on Raw, so I could see it. So.
Yeah.
Where did Bronson Reed go to? Did he get drafted to Raw?
Yeah, he's still on Raw. That's why they said he wouldn't win, because Austin Theory and Lashley got drafted to SmackDown.
Oh, yeah. That makes sense.
They're gonna drag that shit out between them for about the next couple of months. I can see that now. I can see that shit now. Bro.
I'll give as much effort as to this conversation as the match was. Whatever. That's it.
Now, I like this match only because I'm glad to see Tia Trinidad, Selena Vega to get some shine on the TV, even though we knew she was no chance in hell beating no damn Rhea Ripley.
Nope.
So, but she put on a good effort. Everybody forgets that she's a veteran. She's been around for like the last 15 years wrestling at least.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, so you could see that she was choked up being in this match. So
She was
that,
when she stood there and she did her little flag and the crowd started cheering. You can literally see her starting to tear up,
yeah,
Yep.
quivering her lips.
yeah. So the match was what it was. It was to give Rhea a nice little win and show that Selena is something. It didn't last long, but it just shows that she's something. So I give them credit for that. So, but the match it was what it was. I think with this whole show, the crowd is what saved this whole show. If this show was somewhere else, nobody would even be talking about this shit at all. At all. So that's how I
Literally
feel.
was just a show for them.
Yep. So yeah, basically. So Brandon.
I thought that was a pretty good match. We knew that Rhea was going to win. Like we said, I wouldn't have minded if they take it off Rhea to give Selena a win, and then she could put on Rhea on Monday night, and like they could give her the win. It's the same thing we said about Sammy and Roman. It wouldn't have hurt their momentum if they had switched the titles for a night or two, and then they could have had a big match to get Rhea back, and she could have done all sorts of shenanigans and shit. So.
Yeah, like they used to do on Monday Night Raw back in the day.
Yep, I did think it was awesome when she took the sandal and threw it at her.
Yeah, that was funny.
Yeah.
and the many young Mexican kids know exactly the meaning of this and what's about to happen. And I had flashbacks. I went, oh fuck yeah, I remember this when I was a kid. Get the fuck over here! Don't make me throw my chancla at you.
Donnie.
Yeah. The match itself isn't bad. Like a TV main event kind of a match. Atmosphere saved it. I mean, that was, a no-brainer. Would I have wanted the feel-good pop for her to get the, sneaky roll-up victory? I don't know. I mean, you cut the legs off of Rhea almost immediately, and that's not really how they've been building her up. Like, they've been building her up as this just dominant powerhouse. Like, she takes Charlotte to the limits, and then she comes in and gets rolled up by this 5'0" girl. Like, yeah. I mean, the hometown kind of feel, I understand why they did it. It's not really a threatening, challenger. It's, it's something to give her reign some kind of, momentum to start off with by, beating the hometown hero. Overall, it was like a main event kind of a match, a TV main event kind of a match. I don't mind it, but it was one of those, okay, yeah, Rhea's going to win. Like, when's the Reptile going to end her? Like, that was basically just the way I looked at it.
Basically. Yeah. I got everybody for this one, right?
No.
Sorry,
you didn't get the resident Rhea fucking Ripley fan here.
Oh, yeah. Bro, I forgot.
You're like, we're not listening to her because we know she's going to fucking just say everything was good. No, so I think it was a good match. It was definitely one of those like, okay, let's give Rhea a match. Let's give Zelina a match. They're really good friends in real life. So I think they went, well, let's see. We're going to give Zelina a match in her home country. Might as well put her with Rhea. Let Rhea do what she does. And it is what it is. I think. So, again, being our resident fucking Rhea Ripley fanatic, a lot of people 2 weeks or so before this was saying, oh, Rhea's not a good champion. She's not a fighting champion. Everyone's like, she's had the belt for a month. Like, What do you want her to do? And then, so she was gone for a couple of weeks. Her grandma died. Literally, 3 weeks ago, her grandma died. And so she showed up her grandma died on a Sunday. Thursday. She was on Raw, on SmackDown that next day. She even had her grandma's name written on her, and then she was gone for 2 weeks. It's like, guys, her grandma died. Like, she had to go back to Australia. How is she gonna be a fighting champion when let her deal with her family shit? Right. But
exactly.
It was a good match. Everyone knew Zelina wasn't gonna win that match. I think it was more also to shut up the people who are like, well, Rhea's not a fighting champion. Rhea's not a good champion. Okay, I'll give her a match.
Mm-mm-mm.
I have a
Yep.
feeling she's gonna her reign's probably gonna be a good one. I I don't know how to feel about what happened on Raw though. I don't know if you saw Raw. She fought Dana Brooke, which I believe that was their way of saying, okay, shut up, Dana Brooke fans, because there was, and I was a part of it. I'll admit there was the give Dana Brooke a chance
Yeah, I
hashtag that
remember
went
that.
for a while, and I mean she's not been used, and so 2 weeks ago they go and put her on main event, and I'm like, you know what? Just because you guys put her on main event doesn't mean you're using her. Like, let's give her a real match. And then boom, next week she's fighting Rhea. I think that was the Vince's way of being like, okay, shut up, here's a real match. Let's let her fight Rhea. Match ends. Natalia comes out. I am equally as a Rhea fan as I am a Natalia fan. Oh, trust me, you may see my Twitter and you may see me always going off about Rhea, but I am as equal of a Natalia fan. When those two stood face to face on Monday, I looked at my husband and I was like, how? I don't know. Like, I don't know what to do. Like, my brain just couldn't comprehend my two current favorite women wrestlers feuding. And I'm like, well, if anyone were to take the belt off Rhea, I guess I would prefer it to be Natalia. But if that's not happening now, Natalia's not taking that belt off her now. But I was just like, what do I do? Like, my two favorites are about to feud. How do I comprehend this? And like, I love Rhea, but like Natalia, she may be boring, but I've actually had conversations with her on Twitter. Like, she's messaged me on Twitter, the real full blown Natalia page, not like the fake ones. And so like I respect Natalia and I love Brie, and I just don't know what to do with that feud.
Yeah, even though we all know
We all know
Natty.
Rhea's gonna win because Natty just is in the books of always losing. But I'm gonna sit there that match. That's probably gonna be Night of the Champions at the end of this month, and I'm gonna sit there and be like, who do I root for?
Exactly.
I know, right? Yeah, we all know who's gonna win, but hey, Natalia's just there to put people over now. That's it, and that's all.
She's cool with that. She's like, I'm there. I've been in the business for so long. You know, she helps. Her and her husband help train people at his gym, and she's just like, I'm here to help younger talent.
Well, she knows her place, and if she's not mad at her, I can't be mad at her either. So hey, more power to the girl. Now, this was the match that all the people came to see, all the people paid for, and the people at home was just curious how it was going to be because Bad Bunny did good that WrestleMania that he wrestled, so we wanted to see how he could do on his own. So it was basically for that crowd only. It was a good match because it was a garbage match. It was just a street fight. But my problem about the match is you let Bad Bunny come in and you try and build up Damian Priest as this monster of the Judgment Day, and he loses against Bad Bunny that might wrestle once out of the whole year, even though it was a street fight and you give him an out because it was a street fight. Bad Bunny took all his moves and still won the damn match. He should have been dead when they threw him through the table. That should have been the end of the whole match. But he got up like a regular wrestler. He's about $160, $170. It just doesn't make any sense for somebody that doesn't get in the ring all the time to come in and beat a star that you're trying to make super big. I just don't understand the logic in that. That's just me, my eyes. It was just to placate for him, basically. That's just the way I look at it. So it was a good match for a garbage street fight match. So hey, that's just how I feel. So Ro, break it down.
The match stole the show. That should have been the main event. I love that they trusted Damian Priest enough to lead a match with Bad Bunny, who is, wrestles once every blue moon, and they went with it, and it stole the show. Initially, they were going to pitch the match as Bad Bunny and Ray versus Damian and Dom. But apparently Bad Bunny was like, no, I'm confident in my single skills. I can wrestle myself. I don't necessarily need anyone to help me. And so they went, okay, well, we'll trust you and we'll put you with Damien, and you guys are friends in real life, so we'll trust you guys. And they trusted Damien enough to to keep Bad Bunny's well-being and hold the match. I loved it. It was amazing. And they're gonna, every article I've read since is that that was kind of a test to Damien for Damien Priest to see, if he can hold a match and do what he needs to do, and he successfully did it. And now they're going to probably start pushing Damien soon.
Yeah, that's
Or
what
at
I
least that's what
read
they're going to
too.
say. I thought they would have had Damien win his little contenders match, and then Finn would have won that contenders match for the new belt on Monday, and it would have been Finn versus Damien, and then of course Finn would have won because everyone thought Finn was going to win. But I don't know. I think they may put Damien against Gunther.
All right, so I wouldn't be surprised about that. I wouldn't be surprised about that. Donnie, you there, Donnie?
Yeah, no, sorry, yeah. I love this. This was again my favorite match of the night, just like Rose. I, I do agree with what you're saying. I do think that there's something to be said about Bunny coming in and taking Priest's offense. But I think the street fight element kind of saves him, where it's not like, he's in there with like a regular legitimate wrestling match. It's a street fight. He's not, facing him in a regular traditional environment. I think that can kind of give them an out, and you can get around it by saying that. But yeah, this was just so much fun. I'm a huge fan of these kinds of matches where it's just like, wild and chaotic and anything can go. The overbooking with the end, all the run-ins. I mean, you had Carlito come in, you had the LWO come in, you had Savio Vega come in. I mean, that was just so much fun. I mean, the nostalgia of all of that was just so great to see. I'm a big Carlito fan. I thought he was severely underutilized, and just him coming out, because I knew that from seeing Savio earlier in the show, I knew he was going to do a run-in, but I didn't know Carlito was going to do the run-in. And then when he comes out and just like everybody just like completely drowns out his music, yeah, that was just so much fun. And just everybody taking turns just beating on Dom and Finn, and
Yeah, it was funny.
that was just hysterical. Yeah. I do like it for like that kind of just like wild, chaotic WWE, like just anything can go kind of a match. But yeah, I probably would have liked it a little bit more if it would have been the main event, like the final match of the night. Because I mean, that kind of, you see Bad Bunny standing tall, like that would have been like the image to go out on, not like what we got. But yeah, overall, it's the kind of match that I like. So I mean, I'm kind of biased to that, but. Yeah, it was fun. I really liked it, and all the run-ins were great, and everything was just so much fun.
Yeah.
I spit in the face of people who don't want to be cool. I literally just started saying that the moment he came out. I was like, this is freaking hilarious.
Yes, bro. You next up, baby girl.
Oh, I already gave mine.
Oh, damn. My man.
Yeah.
First.
Just
You're
Brandon.
off. I'm waiting for Mr. Trekopedia's opinion.
Brandon, I'm sorry.
That's okay. It's been a long day. I know it. I loved the match. I was having a blast. I was actually on mute because I was talking to my girlfriend at the time because she and I were talking, and all of a sudden, like, the crowd is going nuts. I see Carlitos, like, holy shit. And then, like, the LWO comes out, and then Savio comes out and starts pulling out the Kwang moves because they asked him to.
Yeah, I see that. That was funny.
And then, I loved the match. I thought it was really good. I can't believe they let Carlito spit the apple, because last time he was on there it was mid-COVID, and he couldn't spit the apple. Like, oh, they got away with it this time. So it's like, okay, then. But I thought it was the best match of the night. I loved it because it even made me forget that there was a tag team match that night. I thought it's like, okay, it's going to be Bad Boy versus Dominic and Brock versus Cody. Like, oh crap, there's a tag team match next. I forgot all about that. But
I forgot about that tag team match too.
Yeah, I loved it. I thought it was the best match of the night. I had a blast watching it. Right? Holy shit, we had figure four on him. Like, he's gonna go with the figure four. They kicked out. They hit it with the bunny destroyers. It's called, like, holy shit, that was awesome. So
Yeah. So I got everybody for this one, right?
yep.
Now
Yeah.
you did, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we had the triple threat match that everybody basically forgot about. I didn't even know this match was happening. It was a decent match for what it was. It wasn't that long, and it was more telling a story about the bloodline more than anything else. I still don't understand why they had the tag team champs lose the match. They could have won. They could have had the tag team champs win the match, and you could still told the same story with Sokoa and the Usos. You just put the belts on KO and Sammy, and you got them losing in a random 6-man tag team match on a random ass pay-per-view. It makes no sense, especially when you know you're not going to have the Usos winning the belts no time soon because of the storyline that they having. So, yeah, that's just how I feel about it. The match was decent for what it was, but the ending just didn't make no goddamn sense for me. Why they had the bad guys winning right after you just basically put the tag team titles on them, the champs a couple of weeks ago already. So, Brandon, give me your thoughts.
I thought it was good. It was just, we saw it better at Mania, which is Sammy and Kevin winning the titles. I think it was just to say picture with the bloodline, which I loved that when Solo tagged himself into I think it was Jay just activated and said, "Up, you get out, goodbye." So and then I liked the little tease of that, and then I think it was just supposed to be just to say that Matt Riddle can't beat Solo Sikoa no matter what. I think that's what they're going with. But it was good, but like I said, we all forgot about the tag match. So it's like, I think we just were like, okay, it's here. So
Yeah. Donnie.
Yeah, it wasn't that bad of a match. I've seen better combinations with these guys in the past. I will raise one point. I do think that it was right to have Solo and the Usos go over, especially with Riddle taking the pinfall, because that's what he's there for in this feud, is that he's there to take pinfalls when Sammy and KO can't. I think it's more to the point that Solo's the one that Roman is going to trust now, because he's the one that got drafted with Roman. He's the one that's actually proven to stay on the course and actually prove his value. Because now, if you look at it, Sammy and KO beat Jimmy and Jay for the titles at Mania. Then they beat him in the rematch, and then they've beaten them 2 or 3 times before in solo matches. Because I mean, Sammy beat Jay in the solo match, and then I think KO beat Jimmy or something. Because I remember that they had Jimmy and KO fight in one match, and KO beat him. And then they had the one match, I think last week, or maybe it was the week before, where remember they had where they got Jay thrown out when they pulled the Eddie.
Yeah, I seen the clip of that online.
Yeah, they pulled the Eddie and they got Jay evicted, and that was what ended up. And they gave Riddle a win over Jimmy. So it's like, the Usos can't get it done anymore. Like, they've fallen out of favor. Like, Roman hasn't even talked to them yet, because that's what he's supposed to be doing Fridays. He's supposed to be confronting them about the Mania loss and all the other losses. So I think Solo taking the pin here shows that he's the trusted one in the group now. He's the one that's getting it done. He's the one that you can rely on. And I think that's what the confrontation on Friday is going to be, is Roman going to kick them out, or at least threaten to do so if they don't pull their act together. I think that's what it's going to be. He's going to give them until Night of Champions to prove their value and get the belts back. And if they don't, then they're out of the bloodline. And then he's going to move on to Solo.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense.
I bet you that's where they're going to go with that. That's going to be the match at Night of Champions. They're going to put the stipulation on it. They're going to do like the Wild Tag Team Brawl or something, and Sammy and KO against Jimmy and Jay for the belts. And if Jimmy and Jay can't get it done, they're out of the bloodline.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. I would not be surprised at all. So, bro,
I honestly am like everyone else. I forgot it was a match.
yeah,
I was like, oh yeah, there's something else coming up. Oops, completely forgot about it. Um, it's the like I said, recurring theme of the night. It was boring.
all right. Well, that settles that. Then we had this other main event: Cody Rhodes versus Brock Lesnar, and basically all that shit was um John Cena versus Brock Lesnar at what was that? Extreme Rules or something
Yeah,
like that?
Extreme Rules, yeah.
Yeah, that's all it was Brock beating Cody's ass most of the match. Cody get a couple of good moves at the end, and then Brock dominates him, and then he pulls a fluke roll up, basically shit, and that's how he won the match. They got to see some blood. I really think they say all that shit was planned. I don't think so. I think somebody went over their time on their match. Maybe the Bad Bunny match went too long and the Bianca match went too long. That's why this match is so short. But they claiming that's how they planned it out. And I don't think Brock was supposed to bleed as much as he was supposed to in that match. And the referee was scared to give him the towel or to stop the match while he was
You
bleeding
blame him?
because
You
Threw
blame
the
him?
towel in.
Because it's Brock
Brock
Lesnar.
Lesnar.
I like that after the match, the towel comes flying in. It's like, yep, there it is.
Yeah, that was so funny. But yeah, they're gonna run it back again at Night of Damn Champions. So
Again.
hopefully this will be the end of them two fighting against each other. I still say the fuck why Cody ain't in the championship match. Give him the belt. Y'all gonna keep on dragging this shit out. If you're gonna drag it out till WrestleMania that he gonna get the belt against Roman, eventually the fans are gonna get tired of that shit. WWE fans do not take things too long before they start turning on shit. They do this all the time. So either he get the money in the bank and cash in on Roman at SummerSlam, do something, but I don't want to see this shit dragged out until fucking April. Nah, it's just too much, too long. But yeah, it was a solid match for what it was. But it was kind of hard to top the Bad Bunny versus Damian Priest match on that show. Basically, this was basically a one match show more than anything else. That's just how I feel. So, Donnie, give me your thoughts.
Yeah, it was exactly what Rolo said. It was exactly like Extreme Rules 2013 or 12 or yeah, it was like one of the whichever the Brock's return was. Yeah, he just dominates the entire match. Maybe Cody hits one or two desperation moves and then, the fluke roll of victory at the end. It's like, yeah, I kind of recognize the pattern kind of early on, and then that kind of just like downplayed a lot of the excitement. It's like, yeah, Cody's going to win. He's going to get his ass handed to him, but he's going to win in the end. But yeah, overall, I don't mind it. It's definitely not headline material. Like, this was not a main event worthy match at all, especially when, Priest and Bunny stole the show earlier. The hometown hero getting the win, like that was the hometown. That was the moment to put it on last if you're not going to do Selena and Rhea. But yeah, overall, I enjoy it for what it is. Not necessarily my favorite match, kind of a middling one, but I don't know where they go from here, especially after the confrontation on Monday, because that it looks like they're fighting again, but then they're kind of they're immediately overplaying their hand because it's called Night of Champions, but yet this one doesn't have a title to it. Like, why are they fighting at a Night of Champions? Like, that would be extreme, like, Money in the Bank or something, because I think that's the one after, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, that would be Money in the Bank. Like, that would make more sense, but Yeah, overall, good match, not main event worthy, but I see where they're going here. Like, Cody's got to actually legitimately put him down. Like, that would make more sense, is that he comes out and you do the beat down, and, Brock beats him down again, and then Cody comes back and you do the last man standing match and Money in the Bank. Like, I would rather, like, that would be the way to go. Like, Cody has to, like, physically put him down more than he ever has to finally stop him. And I mean, yeah, it would be a repeat of the SummerSlam match with Brock and Roman, but it'd be a little bit more interesting than what they're doing, because, yeah, the Cena thing is just not really, I don't know where they're going with this.
Yeah. True, so true. Roro.
So we all know Brock was meant to bleed. You can even practically see him cutting himself because the ref doesn't stop the match. Like, if it wasn't supposed to happen, the ref would have grabbed his or whoever the ref was there, put their gloves on and checked it. So he was supposed to bleed. I just don't like we said, I don't think he was supposed to bleed as much as he did. The match was literally like 7 minutes. To me, it seemed like they ran out of time or 10 minutes, because the match literally started with like 5 minutes to go of the night. But I don't know. It was an okay match. Like, the way Cody won was kind of ridiculous. Just, I'm gonna pop my hips up and get the pin, and then all of a sudden now Monday Brock comes and attacks Cody, and they've already reports, and there's already things out there that a lot of the audio when Brock was attacking Cody on Monday was piped in through fake sounds.
Yeah, because I heard that they cheering for Brock and not booing Cody. I mean, cheering for Brock and not booing him.
Yeah. So a lot of the audio, they already reported, a lot of the audio was piped in after the fact, and, well, tape delay or whatever you want to call it. But overall, this pay-per-view was literally, you said it perfectly, a glorified house show for Puerto Rico.
Yeah, it was the crowd saved the show more than anything else. The crowd kept it hype, so you was kind of hyped at home, even though the matches was just basic as could be. So yeah, but yeah.
Well, and I think I kind of, hold on, there goes my headset. I kind of suspect that they may have already expected it to not be a good show, because if we remember the past 2-3 years, it wasn't Backlash, it was WrestleMania Backlash.
Mm-hmm.
And right after WrestleMania and before WrestleMania, they were advertising this one as WrestleMania Backlash. And then, maybe 2 weeks before it actually happened, they literally dropped the WrestleMania to it, and they just started calling it Backlash. And so I have a feeling they may have already predicted it may have not have been a good show, so take the WrestleMania name off of it. But I don't know, I've seen my house show here was better, I would say.
Yeah.
Well, my husband was pointing out too, I don't know, it was like the day later, he was like, Bad Bunny versus Roman. I said, yeah, but we know who's going to win. They said, yeah, but it'll be a match and it'll be just a squash. We said it's a squash match for Roman, but it would give that star power again, because, they already did Logan Paul versus Roman. Might as well do Bad Bunny versus Roman.
Yeah, guess so. Have him fight a babyface, and Bad Bunny is a babyface, so yeah, I can see that happening. But yeah, other than that, that's basically our review of the show.
Well, I thought that so my questions are: 1, where was Heyman?
He probably ain't feel like coming.
2, I could swear that when, I love that Brock looks back at the turnbuckle, like, hey, look, that's off there. I thought he was looking at somebody coming into the ring or shit. That he's looking at the turnbuckle. 3, when he gets rammed into it, it looked like he put his glove up, so he slashed himself in the face with the glove, because there's a razor there.
He did. You can definitely see he did one glove, and then he went and did the other glove. So I don't know which one did it, but he went one glove and then the other glove. So one of the gloves is when he sliced himself.
Yeah, especially because he usually pulls the gloves off throughout the match and stuff. That he still has the gloves on. So he did that, and that's you know what? It was bloody, but at least it wasn't Eddie Guerrero bleeding. That was awful.
I know, right?
He almost died doing that because he had an artery. He didn't want to go to the hospital. He passed out. It's like, jeez. And then the reason they're doing it at Night of Champions is because they don't believe Sammy and Kevin are going to Saudi.
Oh yeah, I forgot
They
all
won't.
about that.
Sammy won't go. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
that's true.
Yeah,
Uh-uh.
they've
I'm just
never.
glad because Sammy's not going and it's called Night of Champions. They didn't take the belts off of them just for that factor of Sammy's not going to go.
Yeah,
Right.
same there.
Yeah, no, they could still do it in. They could still do it in the build-up. Like that would be. They could still do it in between.
Yeah, we don't want to jinx it, I guess.
They can.
Right.
But yeah, I thought it was good. I thought it was an okay match. Where it's like you could tell. Like I said, like we said, I think the Bianca match went way long. So it seemed like that the EO had to kind of vogue for her, I guess it would be, and stuff that. So I think they went too long, and then they had to cut the match from Brock, which I would want to be the agent who told Brock you're getting time from your match cut. I'll tell you that right now.
Yeah.
But like I said, I thought it was funny at the end when Cody gets out of the ring immediately. It's like, yeah, I won't want to be there with Brocky there. The Brock said that you see a towel come flying in. I'm like, there you go. There's a towel we missed.
Yeah. So, well, anybody got anything about any news that's been going on about during the week, wrestling wise? And anybody got any feelings about certain things happening right now?
I'm wondering when they're going to swap the belts for the girls because Rhea still had the SmackDown belt and was still called the SmackDown champion on Monday, and we know Bianca's going to be there on Friday, and they're going to call her the Raw champion. I just wonder if they're going to swap the belts then, or if they're going to rename the belts. Well, when are they going to do it?
Didn't you guys say that they have new belts made? They're just waiting to give it to us. So it could be either this Friday or next Monday.
I thought that was the belt that Triple H introduced. I thought that was the new belt that they had made.
No, apparently they got a bunch of belts ready.
Oh.
So we'll see.
That's
Then,
what, I assumed that the new belt being made was the new World Heavyweight title.
That's what I thought.
That's what I thought.
No, they have new tag belts ready too.
Oh God,
I
please
think they have.
those.
Yeah, well, they need to give the boys because I don't get the draft when they drafted the Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn to Raw when they're the undisputed tag team champions. Essentially, if they're Raw and SmackDown tag team champions, they should be on both shows. But I guess they're probably they're kind of playing it like how they do with now Roman stuck on one show with his two belts. Let's stick the boys on one show with their belts. And they did the same thing for the girls. The Raquel and Liv are drafted to Raw, even though they're wrestling on SmackDown this week. Figure that fucking shit out. Like, I don't know.
I think it's just to say whenever Sammy and Kevin do lose the belts, they're going to be stuck on Raw.
I think that's the point, is that when you're drafted to a brand, you're on that brand when you don't have a title. But because you have a title, you're able to go to both.
Yeah,
I don't know if they've explicitly said that, but I think that would be the rule that they would probably invoke.
It's just been a hot mess. Damn mess.
I think the biggest news has been the fact that apparently 1 week from today at the Warner Bros. Discovery press event, they're going to announce a new deal for AEW. It's like $1 billion for 5 years. All the streaming rights go to Max. Like, that'll be a lot easier to have to pay $40 every time for a pay-per-view. I'll tell you that right now.
I know that's right. Because HBO Max lost a lot of subscribers once they stopped not putting the movies fresh like they did during the pandemic. As soon as that stopped, that's when a lot of people pull their money off that joint. So them putting AEW on there, especially if they do that for that Wembley show, that's going to get a lot of people to pay their $10 or $11, however much it is, to be on there. And they will get more eyes on the product too if they have it on HBO Max. That's how I feel. So, because I heard that WB and Discovery are trying to get away from scripted shows.
Yep.
And I also think that what they're trying to do is they trying to not have all their movies on there like they do, because I think that's costing them a lot of money and they're not getting any returns off of have to pay Disney to show Star Wars and their Marvel movies on a Saturday night. you can put the wrestling show on Saturday night, and it won't cost as much. So they know what they doing. They know exactly what they doing. So that's a smart move.
When does
For
Collision start? Did they ever
They're
get?
going to announce next Wednesday.
it's supposed to be on the 18th of June. That's the story that's going around. The 18th.
That's what I was going to say, because I heard that too. I didn't know if that was an official date or not.
Yeah, they're going to confirm it next week.
Okay.
Yeah, because they're going back to Chicago. That's when they're going to bring CM Punk back.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, that was the one that I heard, because I heard that exact same thing, was that was the Punk return. But yeah, I didn't know if that was just an official thing or if that was just, internet desires or wants or something.
Because WB wants Punk back on the roster no matter what.
Yep.
Yep.
And then, go ahead, Will.
Yeah, they want him back on the roster because they know that he brings in the money at the tickets. Some of the people in the back might not like it, but they're going to have to deal with it if they want to stay on the fucking TV.
Yep. And then there's reports that they're going to announce that for AEW, that next week we might find out if WWE is staying on NBC Universal and Fox. I think they're staying on NBC Universal and Fox just because of the Peacock deal. But I think they're going to pull it off Fox at the beginning of the next fall because reportedly Fox doesn't want to pay that much anymore. And then also the fact that Hulu is about to get combined with Disney. They're saying they think all the WWE stuff is going to be next day on Peacock instead of just going to Hulu because I think Hulu is about to fly itself apart.
Yeah, yeah. All that's combining up the Disney Plus all by the end of the year. So that's gonna be good for us to pay for it, Disney Plus.
Well,
it'll be interesting to see what happens to Hulu because that's where they air main event, and so you can only watch main event on Hulu.
So if you have Disney Plus, you could pay Disney Plus and Hulu. You could have Hulu underneath the banner, but if you don't pay for one, you don't have to get both of them. You could pay for Hulu separately. They're gonna keep them separate. So it's kind of like what Discovery's.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they're gonna do what they did with Warburst Discovery. They're gonna keep Discovery separate, so it's gonna be set there as Hulu. But I think Hulu's gonna be cannibalized a little bit because I think some of that Fox stuff is gonna go to Disney Plus instead.
Yeah, probably so. Yep. Well, a lot of them kids movies and stuff is gonna go over to Disney Plus.
Well, Disney Plus has been saying they want Buffy.
Ah.
They want that Buffy. They want Buffy because Buffy is the most lucrative syndicated show of all time now.
Oh, wow. See, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Oh, so yeah, that makes a lot of sense. And yeah, that's the biggest thing. And of course, AEW selling so many tickets for Wembley, and people couldn't believe that was going to happen. And people saying that Tony didn't pay for having tickets, the stupid shit like that. People don't understand that crowd over in England love wrestling. They always been super big for wrestling.
Yeah.
And it's more than just the English people going over there. Everybody figures that London is a travel hub. It's easy to get in and out of that that country airport wise. It's a destination spot where you can connect from any country to get to London, and people don't understand that. The so-called smart wrestling fans that think they know everything, which they don't know mostly shit. So yeah, but yeah, it's a good look for AEW. I'm happy for them. Hopefully they'll put on a good show, and this will make them a little bit more stronger. What they need to do, and I see they bring a couple people that came back tonight. I'm not gonna say who, for those who want to watch it, but once you see it, you'll see who I'm talking about. So yeah, it's been an interesting week wrestling wise. We had a okay show for what it was, and I have no complaint. So I guess that's it, peeps. We did another show in the books.
Another one of the books taking over Android's podcast network since he doesn't like to join us no more.
Yeah. So this would be the wrestling show. I don't know what number episode, but this is the wrestling show. So we'll see y'all, I guess, after Night of Champions.
Less than a month away.
Yep. Couple more weeks to go. Yep.
Which one's first, Night of Champions or Double or Nothing?
Ain't they the same weekend?
No, I thought Double or Nothing was Saturday or Sunday this week.
No, it's at the end. It's at the end of the month. Both of them at the end of the month. I think one of them is Saturday and one of them Sunday.
WWE will be Saturday then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
27th.
Yep. So we got a full weekend of wrestling. Yep. Yep.
Alrighty. Bye.
Bye.
Bye, folks.
The Wrestling Show. You've been listening to the Intestinal Fortitude Podcast Network. Follow us on Twitter, _Fortitude, or on Instagram, The Intestinal Fortitude.